How to Read Sheet Music by the Random Kid. By the Random Kid. Alright, so the first thing to look for is a staff. It's not going to look like Gandalf's staff. Instead, it's going to look like this. Now you got to find your clefts. There are two main clefts. This is not one of those two main clefts. Alright, so the first clef is the high one, or the treble clef. Then we got the low one, the bass clef. There was also another clef called the alto clef, but that's not going to come into use for you guys. Alright, let's talk about notes. B flat concert scale. That's a B flat. Although for most people end up playing a B flat. Although for some people, for some reason, they end up playing another note. Like, for example, the clarinet and the trumpet have to play a C. At least I think they do. In order to get the same pitch. I don't understand why, but they do. C? Isn't that interesting? Alright, now that we got all those concert scales down, let's figure out what these are. So let me see. I think the one towards the left are both A's. The ones next to that are both C's. Then the ones next to that are both F's. Or actually D's, my bad. And the ones toward the right are G's. When you put them all together, they sound nice. Alright, so this is a whole note. It gets the entire measure of whatever measure it's in. This is a half note. It gets half the length of that. This is a quarter note. It's half the length of that. And this is an eighth note. It gets half the length of that. To be honest, you could go as much as you want. For example, somebody did the 256th note, or some other nickname I can't remember how to pronounce. Beware of this dot. It can really throw you off. But let me explain what to do if you do see this dot. If you see this dot on that half note toward the left, all you have to do is just add an extra half of the note that has the dot on it, and play that note. Just do that equation right there for me. That'll figure it out. What are we stopping for? We still have to cover what all of these symbols mean. So let's just go through them. This reminds you when to breathe. Although for some reason somebody goes crazy if you all breathe at this mark. So breathe a little before or a little after you see this mark. Oh, one thing. This is to remind you when to breathe, not how to breathe. If you forget how to breathe, well, I'll leave that for you to figure out. This is a pretty common time signature, isn't it? That makes sense. 5 out of 4 people have a problem with fractions. Your teacher loves to throw these at you. I know she does. Don't listen to this. Play soft. Softer. I can't hear you. What are you saying? Don't listen to this. Play loud. Louder. Please don't! Play loud! And then don't. Wait, where are we going here? Look at this diagram. This should help you figure out where you're going. Feel free to pause this video. This is your pitch range. The bottom note there is the lowest pitch you'll ever play in the entire piece, and then the top note there is the highest pitch you'll ever play throughout the entire piece. If you see these symbols, that means look up to the lady who's acting like she's crazy, although she's not. She's acting crazy for a reason. You'll find out why she does it later on throughout the year. Okay, this can mean either two things. Thing 1, it means your entire group has a solo. Thing 2, if you are the only person in your group, then you have a solo. You're not really needed at the moment. I think the whole band forgot about you. Play that measure again for me, will ya? Accidentals. The one thing that causes accidents throughout the piece. So let's go through these to not get through accidents. So let's start off with the flat. This is a flat. That means play a half step lower than normal. For example, this is an E, and then this is an E flat. This is a sharp. That means play a half step up. For example, this is an F, This is an F sharp. Can we go back to playing natural now? If you see this note with an X on it, that means there's a word under it and you have to scream it out like crazy. No, not like crazy, you just got to scream it once, depending on how many notes you actually have there. And that's it. I'm done. I just can't handle this crazy group anymore. At least I was able to do this within 100 slides. It was only 50.